Two.
That's what I was thinking.
I have stuff on both anyway.
Okay.
Alrighty, all set. We're up and rolling.
Okay, everyone. Welcome back to our monthly marketing meeting. This is August 3rd, and so we're here. I'm here with Devin Kropp, Associate Editor at Horse's Mouth, person who runs our advisor client turnkey marketing program. Devin, hello.
Hi.
Our monthly marketing meetings run in three parts. The first part is a topic of broad interest to anybody in our industry. And then the second part is more specifically, we start talking about what Horse's Mouth has teed up for its monthly marketing program in advisor client and for the master membership. And then part three, we answer a couple of marketing questions that we have received. And so that's how we're going to run it today. So Devin, part one is about LinkedIn and marketing tips. I think people, my perspective is, well, LinkedIn's been around now, probably 20 years. And Microsoft bought it, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. And it kind of became a little more user-friendly, I think, and a little more content-oriented. It wasn't just used to be a lot about sort of jobs and resumes and, making links with people, and now there's a lot more, robust things happening there. It's more of a dynamic community. So, this whole field of LinkedIn marketing has come up. And, I have to say I was skeptical of it a few years back, but, I've changed my mind. I think that it actually is valuable and stuff can happen there. And so anyway, I know you have been watching this closely and gathering string, as we used to say in the newspaper business, facts and tips and information about an important topic. So let me throw it over to you and see what you have to say here about LinkedIn marketing tips and tricks.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, LinkedIn used to be known as kind of like a job board forum if you're looking for a job. And I would say over the last 5 years or so, it has really exploded into a more social network, fitting into kind of the big social media networks that we see. I think there's a huge opportunity for advisors on LinkedIn because there is still a level of trust and credibility that LinkedIn has that maybe some of the other platforms have lost in recent years. And I think that people looking on LinkedIn are, looking for more educational information than maybe, when you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram. And I think there's also a shared idea of learning on the platform where there's just a lot of interesting content shared back and forth, and you can really form kind of a community on the platform. So I think there's a huge opportunity for advisors on LinkedIn. And in addition to what the things I just said, there's also studies that show most people on LinkedIn have a little bit more money. They're working, that, so they could fit into your target market a little bit better than maybe some other platforms based on what you're looking for. But with that being said, I feel like there are so many features of LinkedIn that just are underutilized by most people on the platform because, like you said, Sean, people made, profiles 10-15 years ago when it was just kind of this job searching platform and maybe, have updated it with new jobs or experiences, but are missing out on some of the features that can help advisors really market themselves to prospects out there. So I do want to quickly kind of go over some quick and easy fixes everyone can make to their profile just to enhance their profile a little bit more. And then once we do that, we'll talk a little bit about the different marketing opportunities on LinkedIn, paid versus organic, and where you might find yourself. And then we'll close out quickly with just some kind of quick tips about the platform that you might not know about. So to start, we're going to go over some quick things you can do to your profile. So I'm actually going to go ahead and share my LinkedIn, and this is in like my view. So if you were to go in and edit your profile, you would see the same window you're seeing just with your information. I'm doing this just so you can quickly see where to go to make these changes. So number one, I think a really important thing that people overlook, you may have heard this tip before, but I want to start with it because I think it can make such a big difference, is changing your vanity URL. So when you first make a LinkedIn account, it will say linkedin.com/in/ maybe your name with like a million numbers after it. You can actually change that to be anything that you want. Obviously, your name makes the most sense. That way, if you are, speaking to a prospect and they want to connect on LinkedIn, it's easy enough for you to share your URL. And it also just looks a little bit cleaner when someone goes there. So you can see over here on the right-hand side, I could go in and edit this to be anything that I wanted. I have already gone in and made it my name to make it look a little bit cleaner. So this is called your public profile and URL. Sometimes it's also called your vanity URL, meaning that when someone types that in, they're going to be directed directly to your LinkedIn page, not have to go through a search or anything like that. So that's one really quick and easy thing you could do, as soon as we hop off this call, that's going to help make your profile look a little bit more professional and cleaner.
So you've cleaned it up so that someone searches on Devin space crop, it's going to come up.
Or if you're just speaking to someone and you want to say, hey, want to check out my profile, go to this page. It's much easier to say this URL than the one that LinkedIn gives you initially, which is have a million characters and numbers after your name.
So let me ask you this, and maybe you're going to, and if you'll smartly tell me, I'm going to get to that in a second, but if that's true, suppose you're a financial advisor in Poughkeepsie, New York, could you put Devin Crop space financial planner space Poughkeepsie, New York, or something like that?
You can make it anything you want as long as it fits into their parameters. So I don't think you can necessarily have spaces, but you might have to do a dash, but you can go here and you could change it to anything. It has to be between 3 and 100 letters or numbers, no spaces, symbols, or special characters. But other than that, you can make this whatever you want it. So that's a great point, because right now I'm showing you like a personal page, but this is something you would want to do for your business page as well, and make sure that that URL is your business name and not something completely crazy. Again, to your point, if you have a more common name or a more common business name and you want to differentiate it, adding in something like your location makes a lot of sense to differentiate you from another firm or person out there who might have the same name.
Also, I guess I'm just questioning it. Is that making it more search friendly?
The search doesn't really have much to the built-in search on LinkedIn, it won't impact. But if someone is searching on Google, your name and LinkedIn, it certainly can help make sure that your result is pulled to the top, because again, it's crawling through and looking at that URL. And once it matches that, it's probably going to pull up that result. But the internal search tool, it's not going to affect because they have all of your information. But for external search, yes, it will help. And it can also help SEO because again, you're matching that to, your business website and other platforms that's using your name. So it can help kind of build this cohesive identity online.
Good.
Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is this about section on LinkedIn. So this is somewhat of a new feature where you can kind of create your own bio on LinkedIn, and you can make it as long or short as you want. But it's a great place for you to kind of tell your why and your story. So if a prospect is coming here for the first time, they're able to learn a little bit more about you. You can actually add in multimedia here as well. So if you wanted to include photos, you can do that too. This is just a great place to tell a little bit more about yourself. And then great thing about having a about feature filled out, this is optional, but turning it on and filling it out. Sean, going back to your question about the search, if you have good keywords in here and people are searching, it can help bring your profile up from a search perspective. So spending some time on a kind of a bio to have here, definitely recommend using the first person you're here telling about your business. Is a great kind of another easy win you can do to improve that profile. And then the third item I want to talk about is this featured section. This is the newest part of LinkedIn. And I think there's a great opportunity here for advisors because many of you are out, doing webinars or speaking in person or winning awards, writing guest articles. This is a place for you to be able to kind of showcase or show off those things that you're doing here. So for example, I added in one of these meetings we've done in the past just to show you how easy it is to pop up. If you have multiple, it's kind of like a carousel and it will scroll through. So you can pick, videos you've recorded, webinars you've done if you want to share the replay of those, articles you've written. If you've been featured, in other places, you can add links to that. So it's a great place to kind of just have this little kind of brag sheet. And again, for advisors, I think this is really a great opportunity to, again, show some of the things you've done. If you're positioning yourself as an educator, put those links in here so people who are coming to your profile for the first time can learn more about you, maybe watch a video of you, and get a little bit more comfortable with you before they decide to reach out. So this is another great thing. It's really easy to add. When you click here, you'll see you can add a post, article, link, media, you can add images. There's a lot you can do here. And again, it's just going to add some interest to your profile and build it out a little bit more. So when prospects do land here and check you out, they can learn more about you. So another tip you definitely want to do here is at some point link back to your own website. We're always trying to direct traffic back to your website. So maybe adding a featured link that directs back to your website is great, again, for SEO and for just showcasing what you do and getting people to go to your website and maybe, fill out a lead generation form or sign up for an event that you're doing. You could also share upcoming events here too. So if you have a webinar or in-person event, sharing the registration information here in the featured section is a great idea. So that's what I wanted to share about your profile. And now we can quickly talk about kind of the marketing opportunities that are available on LinkedIn from a organic and a paid standpoint. So obviously organic content is stuff that you're going to see on the newsfeed that you go through and you interact with. And I think LinkedIn in particular, having an organic strategy on there makes a lot of sense if this is a platform that you want to lean into. There's a huge opportunity to share educational content. People are looking for that when they come onto LinkedIn. So having, a calendar where you're sharing 2 times a week, I think is a great start for most people. It can be anything. You can share things you've written. You can reshare articles that you've read online. If you're doing video, LinkedIn algorithm loves video, so having those there. 2, you can also organically market your events, like posting links, like I said, to your registration page for webinars or in-person events that you're doing. You can have lead gen campaigns going where people can sign up and, a white paper or a handout and share their information with you. There's a lot you can do on the LinkedIn platform organically. One thing I think people overlook is the social aspect of social media networks in general, and in particular now LinkedIn. And part of your organic strategy needs to be interacting with other posts that you see on the platform. So commenting and liking on things, sharing things is going to help you build that community on LinkedIn. Because like I said, when we started, I think there is this robust community on LinkedIn, especially in the advisor world. And so starting to share and like and comment and start those conversations can really help your posts do even better when you start sharing your own content and create conversation around them.
Good.
And then, Sean, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just, and so what about when other people start somebody likes it or somebody makes a little comment, which, maybe if it was on Facebook, you might just say like their comment and not actually respond. But is there this idea that, you're trying to promote or that the algorithm in the background is going to notice a little activity? And if you get in there and give a 2-sentence response to somebody who has also responded, that somehow gets better play or something like that?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. LinkedIn wants to engage conversation. And unlike many of the other social media platforms, LinkedIn posts have a longer life span than on other platforms. So you may have noticed when you log into LinkedIn, sometimes the first post that you see on your newsfeed might be from 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I feel like that's pretty unheard of on things like Facebook or Instagram. Things like that. So I do think, and usually those posts are there because they've warranted a lot of conversation, a lot of likes, and LinkedIn thinks that it would be interesting to you. So to your point, yes, if you are getting comments on your posts, you want to try to engage those in some way. So even responding and, saying, thanks for reading or thanks for watching, and then maybe asking a question and try to get that conversation going is certainly helpful. And that's why I think it's really important for everyone to start doing that for others' posts, because if you want it on yours, you got to start that conversation elsewhere as well. Commenting on other posts too can really help build your network, right? Your LinkedIn newsfeed is usually not just people that you're connected with, it's other people kind of in your industry and space. And so you can connect with new people that way too, just by, engaging with their content and sharing your own content as well. So yeah, having that back and forth is really important. And if you're sharing stuff and prospects are commenting on it too, you obviously want to encourage that conversation and maybe even take it off of LinkedIn and invite them to something like that.
So Mark has asked a question. He says, asks, can we share a short video post done over at YouTube?
You can certainly link to YouTube. Most social media platforms prefer that you do something called native video, which means that you would upload the actual video file to their platform instead of linking out. Because if you think about it from their perspective, they want to keep people on their website as long as possible. And so when you're linking out to YouTube and taking people away from them, it can hurt you in the algorithm a little bit. So ideally, if you have a video file, you want to upload that instead. If your goal is to get people to see that, and comment with it. If you have an ulterior goal of kind of building your YouTube subscriber list, that can work, but just know that the algorithm may punish you a little bit because they want to keep people on LinkedIn.
But they could download their YouTube video to their local drive and upload it.
Absolutely. And wherever you filmed it before you uploaded it to YouTube, you can use that same file on LinkedIn.
Okay, good.
So that's from an organic perspective, what we want to think about. And then LinkedIn also has a very robust paid advertising platform that I think at this point rivals Facebook. They have a lot of data where you can really create a super targeted market. And I think that if you're someone who's doing events or you're trying to even build your email list, using the LinkedIn paid advertising feature is a great option for you. It's pretty simple to use. You can target, if you have a niche, a really specific niche, you can target, employees at this company. You can target by life events. So people, who are looking to retire in X amount of years or, are at this level of their job career. So you can get really specific with that. And, we could spend an entire session on paid advertising on LinkedIn. So we're not going to get too far into it, but if that's something you're interested in, for our advisor client and our master members, we do have some campaigns in the advisor client library on how to get started with that. And I think that's a great place for advisors who are looking to market themselves and pay for advertising for them to go and experiment with.
Right. Good.
And then quickly, I just wanted to go over some quick things that people might not know about LinkedIn. We've been talking about how to build your profile and do all this advertising and share content. But again, one of the main goals of LinkedIn is to build your network and to get in front of new people and connect with new people. So often we get questions of, how can I build my network on LinkedIn? How can I get in front of new people? I think one of the best features of LinkedIn that people don't know about is the groups feature, where you can join different industry on the network, and it kind of is its own mini LinkedIn within LinkedIn. So if you go to that group page, you're able to have kind of its own news feed and other people to connect with and start conversation with. So from a learning perspective, there's plenty out there for financial advisors if you want to meet like-minded advisors and have those conversations. But also, again, if you have a really specific niche that you work with, finding groups that surround that, or maybe even regional, local groups that are on LinkedIn. That's a really great way for you to, meet new people, connect with new people. Alumni groups, same thing.
All right, good. So that covers LinkedIn.
Yep, that's all I have.
All right, so now we move on to part 2, which is teeing up our specific marketing activities that we have set for our master members and advisor clients. So, Devin, August is college planning. What do we got there?
Yep. So I'm just gonna pull up the calendar again for everyone, just in case you're new. I'm not sure where to find this. This is our master member marketing calendar. In the master member portal, it's here under marketing calendar. So our theme for August is college planning. And we have a reprint that is 6 factors that predict a student's college success. When you click on it, it's going to bring you to this kind of PDF preview here with your contact information. And this article kind of goes into different things to think about when children or grandchildren are building their college lists, and whether or not these students need the top name schools or not. It's a very interesting article. And again, it's personalized with your information here. And this is our new design for all of them. So this is something that you could just easily send out and share with clients and prospects.
Good. All right.
And then we also have a handout for the month of August. That's our key college funding data card. And that is a really great 2-piece card that Sean's now sharing there on the screen.
Yeah, I think this is great. I think every advisor should be sending this out once a year, sort of irrespective of whether, you have the college planning niche, which, by the way, continues to be a great niche. You want to have a niche aspect of your business. College planning can lead to a lot of great things, great business. And in fact, Lynn O'Shaughnessy later this month is going to be having her virtual workshop. And if you're interested in that topic, I highly recommend it. But this particular card that we've developed, a key college funding data card, is really something to put in the hands of all your clients, because your older clients that may have kids, may have grandkids that are getting ready to go through college, or your younger or middle-aged clients who have kids coming up through the ranks that are going to be going to college. There is so much fantastic information on this. And the reason this niche is so successful is that people know practically nothing about what's involved in terms of getting your kid into college and paying for it. And of course, the Savvy College Planning Program, it's not about 529s and savings. It's about late stage college funding planning, how you can get the best tuition rates for your clients when they go to college, because people are just totally misinformed by the media about what's going on. And the truth is that nearly every college in the country is desperate to fill empty seats that they have every year. And so they award a lot of merit aid to families who would think that their kid would never qualify for any sort of aid because they make enough money. But the truth is that these colleges are desperate to fill their seats, and without using the word bargaining or negotiating, you basically find a good school and see what their offer is, and then you learn through Lynn's program, how to effectively negotiate to get the best kind of the lowest rate possible. And advisors have saved clients, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more over the course of 4 years or more, because that's another big surprise you learn in the program. Like 46% of kids graduate in 4 years. So any family that's budgeting, college, and they're multiplying it by 4, they're setting themselves up for trouble, because 54% take, I think, 6 years. Definitely don't do it 4 years. Anyway, this is a great thing to give to families. There's so much information on it. It starts off with this little roadmap. Then it starts talking about the FAFSA and the EFC, and applying for admissions. And on the second page, there's some things about the award letter comes down. That's where the serious negotiation starts. It's just a lot of great information to share with your clients, and now is the time of the year to start doing that. And so that's part of that program. And just also quickly, I think I can find it here. I was going to show no, actually, I'm not going to show the presentation. I show a different presentation later. So I apologize. All right, let's just keep moving on.
Okay, so that is our communication touches for September. Our theme is health to sign, written by all. This is on Elaine's Social Security and Medicare workshops. And I will say even advisors often have confusion around this topic of when people need to sign up if they're still working. So this is a great article. Most of your clients and prospects are probably confused about this. Their HR, departments are not answering them clearly about what they need to do with Medicare, and so if they're still working. So this is a great article to send out. Again, it'll be personalized with your information. There's a web reprint version of it available as well. And this is for the month of September, where our theme is healthcare planning.
Yeah, and then also there is a great presentation that you can become familiar with and start showing your clients. This is the Managing Healthcare Expenses in Retirement from the Savvy Medicare Planning Program. Everybody is confused about how all this works, and so Elaine Floyd has a great presentation there. And in the next, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. In the next 2 years, we're going to have the greatest number of baby boomers passing age 65 than ever before, and so all of them, whether they're working or not working, have to address the Medicare issue. A lot of advisors avoid this. Some get totally into it. Some have a sort of middle ground where they know enough about it and they've got a good strategic partner who they pass their clients off to. It is a big issue. And there's things involved like the IRMA surcharge, which relates to their taxes in essence, and how much they're going to pay for their premiums on Medicare. So again, a great topic to be looking forward to possibly presenting in September or even October. All right, Devin, back to you.
Okay, that and I also note we do have a client handout for September as well about healthcare and Medicare. So this two-sided handout, very similar to what Sean just showed for college planning, and we can go into that a little bit more in depth next month when we meet again. But we do have that ready for you to go. So part 3 is our member questions, where we answer questions from members like you that we've gotten. So our first question for this month is, what's a good way to introduce yourself to an area in which you have never marketed yourself in before?